Currently, we're joined by the Health Secretary, Wes Street. And you might be able to hear our conversation, Wes, because you're making headlines yourself this morning.
Yeah, I caught the tail end of that.
Yes, accusations that you're calling Nigel Farage a racist. Would you like to clarify your comments? Do you believe that Nigel Farage or his policies are racist?
Yeah, I don't have a window into Nigel's soul, but I did see the leaflet that Reform put out in a by-election in Scotland that basically said that Anas Sarwar would prioritise the interests of the Pakistani community and Pakistanis living in the country. And why was that? Well, because as well as being a proud Scot, Anas is also a proud Pakistani heritage. And I thought that was a racist leaflet, I really did, and it went out in Reform's name. And if Nigel Farage doesn't agree with that, why did he let it go out? And if he did agree with that, well, what does that make him? And look, I'm not interested in shutting down people who've got legitimate concerns.
Whereas the guy can highlight his Scottishness, he can highlight his party's interest, he can highlight Pakistani interest or not. That just seems legitimate. I don't see that's necessarily racist.
Oh, come on. I honestly just thought it was basically saying he's not one of us. He's going to stand up for them, not for you. And I thought we'd left that kind of politics behind in our country. And look, I want this to be a country where people can express their concerns and can speak up and can exercise free speech. I don't think that people, for example, who are concerned about the security of our borders, the small boats or levels of legal, let alone illegal migration in our country are racist. I don't think that at all. But we do have racism in our country, and where we see it, we've got to call it out. I don't want to turn the clock back.
What you have to do, of course, is get these waiting lists down within the NHS. And today you're going to be speaking about that and trying to say, look, I think we can do this. How do you think you can do it?
So there's been some green shoots of recovery in the NHS in just over our first year. We've got NHS waiting lists down by 250,000. Patient satisfaction with GPs is on the rise, and the things that we promised as first steps, like the 2 million more appointments, we've gone way further with 5 million. We promised 1,000 more GPs on the front line, we've done 2,000. But there's a lot more to do, and there'll be people watching this morning saying, well, it's all very well you're talking about more GPs or lower waiting lists, but I'm still struggling to get an appointment, or I'm still waiting, and I'd be the first to admit there's a lot more to do. And that's why the Prime Minister's announcement today of NHS Online, a new virtual hospital service, is such a game changer, because it shows how we're not just investing in the NHS but modernising. And that online service, which won't be for everyone in all cases, it's only for cases where it's safe and effective and where people want to go online, that'll create about an extra 8.5 million appointments, which will be great for those people who use that service, but it will also free up capacity for people who need to or want to be seen face to face by their GP or at their local hospital.
How are you going to ensure, though, that serious conditions aren't missed with this online health service? How are you going to ensure that people don't slip through the net?
So it will only be for certain conditions, and using the experience we've got where this has already been proven to work. So in Southampton, for example, they've got an online service that deals with chronic bowel inflammation. Those patients are being seen online and being given the right support and advice and course of treatment online. For others, they might see someone online for an initial consultation, but then be seen or sent for a diagnostic test and scan at the local community diagnostic centre. As I say, it won't be for everyone in every condition. It's different courses for different horses, but it builds that extra capacity, that ease and convenience for people online, that means that we free up capacity for people who need to be seen face to face. And I also emphasise people who want to be seen face to face, because there'll be some of your viewers watching this morning thinking, well, I don't want to be seen online, and I hope you're not thinking of sending me onto a virtual call. I want to see someone in person. I accept that and respect that, and I feel very strongly that patients should be able to choose. But if someone like me is being seen online, I've gotten out of your way for the face-to-face appointments you want to see in the real world. So everyone wins from this.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private internet access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private internet access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GBNews discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GBnews to start protecting yourself digitally today.
What's your message to the British Medical Association, who've given you an ultimatum, haven't you, ahead of your speech later on today at conference? They're looking at strike action if the government goes ahead with plans to improve access to online booking systems. They're saying that these moves are being introduced without sufficient safeguards to stop practices being overwhelmed by patients. What do you say to them and their threat of strike action?
I think the BMA are letting the side down, to be honest, because they're giving people the impression that GPs are opposed to online access. And actually, loads of GPs are already doing it. We just want to make sure it's happening everywhere. They signed up to do this, by the way, and they signed up with the agreement we made with them, backed by £1 billion of extra investment into general practice, the biggest increase in a decade. And look, they've got to work with us, not against us. I mean, it's been a running theme of my first year as Health and Social Care Secretary, the BMA kick off from one week to the next. And I'd rather we work together as partners, I really do. And the alternative is, you know, we either get the NHS back on its feet with a Labour government, and we'll be proud of that achievement for years to come, or if the BMA hold us back and the forces of conservatism win, there'll be a reform government with Nigel Farage, who doesn't believe in the NHS, wants an insurance system that will check your pockets before your pulse and your credit card before your care. That's not a future I want to see, but that is going to be the choice at the next general election, and there isn't a more pro-NHS, more pro-doctor, pro-patient health secretary or government waiting in the wings. We've got Mr Farage, who doesn't believe in the NHS.
I'm afraid we're coming to the end of our programme. Thank you very much for your time this morning on Breakfast.
Thank you, Secretary of State. Virtual hospital appointments. What are we saying about this, Eamonn? This is from page of the Times.
So this is Labour's newest gimmick to drive down the 7.4 million waiting list.
Is it a gimmick or is it just common sense?
Well, a lot of surgeries already have e-consultations where you get a phone call or a video call from your doctor. So this is nothing new in terms of...
Is this part of Keir Starmer's new world? Is this the future? Is this the way things are going?
Well, look, I think it's fair to say that socialists love their 5-year plans. The only thing is, West Street, and you can ask him this when he comes on later, he's got a 10-year plan for the NHS. Labour are going to be in here even for the next 5 years. So
we've had Carol Vorderman in the paper saying exactly that they'll not be in again if Starmer is in charge.
Did previous Tory health secretaries have a 10-year NHS forward view? Is it something that's just been invented by Wes Streeting, who I'm no particular fan of, but the idea that this is a new thing, it's a completely normal thing to have a long-range plan for major organisations. Yes, businesses do the same thing, and that's so we should have in the NHS.
OK, so let's break this down. Let's go to Wales, and where Labour have been running the NHS. Wait times over 36 weeks are 20 times more higher now than pre-pandemic. Okay. That's the blueprint that Labour have got.
And on that thought, we've got to leave it, Eamonn. James, thank you very much indeed. Thank you to both of you.